Madera with the Fredericksburg Regional Chamber of Commerce. I'm sitting here with Crump from Foode, among many other things. And we're going to talk a little bit about what it's like to be a woman in business. Okay. So how do you balance your career, your personal life, and your passions?
And you don't. That's nice. Yeah. No. I don't. I honestly, it's like I think, it's like New Year's resolution time where you're always like, let me remind myself to take time for myself. Let me remind myself to, not to feel terribly guilty for taking a day off. I'm not sounding like a martyr, but it's just like when you're in business, and especially if whether you're working for someone else or working for yourself, you tend to like get lost in that, and you fall down further and further on the list. So it's a constant effort to try and get yourself a little bit higher on the list, because the more you replenish and revive and refresh yourself, the more you have to give. But I'm not a master at it, not by any means. I mean, I've got, I need to dye my hair and it's a mess, So
I totally understand, and then I like the honest answer. I appreciate that. So, how important is having a mentor to grow as a leader?
I was talking to one of my chefs literally just last week, and he was saying, I've been here for X number of years, and we didn't have a performance review last year. We just kind of skipped that, and it was Snowmageddon last January, and so I did. I got lost in all that, and just kind of kicked in gear and started working, and I forgot to review him. And I said, that's my apology, because I remember this college professor telling me that feedback is the single most important part of learning. So to have a mentor who can help you, I don't know, it doesn't matter to me what industry it's in. It's kind of you just look for someone who is doing what you want to do, whether it's in a restaurant business like I am, or just doing it the way you want to do it. My mentor happened to be a man, very successful, and in a completely different industry. But he was so generous with his time, and when I looked at some of the points that he had in his life, I want that. I want to travel with my family. I want to work from home 1 or 2 days a year. I want to drive a car like that, or be financially independent, or whatever that meant. Whatever I saw in him, I wanted those things. So even though he had nothing to do with my industry, I picked him as my mentor, and thankfully he picked me back. And I learned so much from that relationship. So yeah, I think it's incredibly important to get feedback from someone else, particularly someone who might be doing things in a way that you would like to have them done for yourself.
That's great.
Yeah.
How can women support other women in their organizations?
You just do. You just try harder. If you're going to interview 3 people for a job, just tell yourself that you're not going to make a decision until at least 1 or 2 of them are women. If you are looking for something else to be done at your company or be done in a different way, go to the staff members that represent that thing or that represent you, which is a woman, and ask them for their opinion. Don't forget that the people that, depending on what you do for a living, so I'm just going to speak for myself, I try never to forget that the people that I am serving, meaning the public, are also the people that are reflected on my staff. Mm-hmm. So if I'm looking for the answers to what is or isn't working, I look to my staff first. And they always have these little hidden opinions, little gems that they don't bother to tell you because they think maybe you're not listening, or maybe, and it's so I just we start really with the numbers, and we just make sure, like I said, I'm looking for a new dishwasher right now. I'm not going to hire one until I've at least talked to 1 or 2 women. And then I know that I've tried to hit that demographic,
That's really great.
And and then when you come in and you say hey, let's do, hey, love Foodie, I can grab 10 women. That's easy for me, because we're constantly trying to do that.
So our final question is, as a leader, how do you stay mindful of who's at the table
Well, Beth, my business partner, has this great saying, and I can't remember the cool country music star that it came from, but she said, I don't focus on the people who aren't here. I only focus on the ones who are here. So if you've got a restaurant that holds 100 people and there's only 3 people sitting and eating, do not worry about the 97. You focus on the 3. And that's really what we do. We try and make sure that every single person who walks in the door feels tended to, seen, we take feedback from them all the time, good and bad, and sometimes that's like tough skin, but that's how we deal with it. That's how I think we've let Fredericksburg help us figure out how to grow, by letting them tell us what they need and trying to be that thing, whatever it might be. So it's constantly evolving, and that's what we do. We just focus on the people who take the time to come in and support us, and we show them that we see them by supporting them back.
Well, we certainly love what you do.
Thank you.
I just had the best lunch.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And thank you for all you're doing for the chamber. We really, really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.